Hi everyone, how are you all doing? It's Amanda. It's the 30th of December 2019 and we're nearly into a new year. Can't believe it. What I'm going to be doing in this video is running through what were the top 10 colour energies of this last year. But what's really interesting about them is that it's very clear to me that they have been creating a foundation for what is to come in 2020. So it doesn't feel as though this is just a top 10 that is historic. This feels as though it is a top 10 that shows us what we have been building towards. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. I did this last year. And I have the top 10 colours that we had last year, and they have shifted in 2019. And of course, they will always shift year by year because colour is a healing energy that we use, whether it is conscious or unconscious. We all use colour to help ourselves heal. And if that sounds a bit far-fetched to you, just think about how you feel when you walk out on a beautiful sunny day. Colour is light at the end of the day. It's the light spectrum versus maybe walking in darkness, in night time. It has a different effect on our psyche. So colour is a huge subject, and I'm going to get into it a little bit in this video because I'm going to be explaining why I believe each of the colours has got its place in our top 10. I'm also going to be doing what didn't get into, or what was in the bottom, okay? I'm basing this obviously on the colours, the colour energies that we sell at Angelic Celestial Colours. I have a website and we sell, I don't know, I've lost track now, it's certainly about 40 different sprays, all of which have a basis in colour therapy. And the colours are chosen for very specific reasons, but equally there are lots of other energies within the sprays, such as angelic energies, cosmic energies, elemental energies, energies linked to chakras, energies linked to the Ascended Masters. Each spray has a different concoction and is created by hand and packed and posted here in the UK. I must just say, before I say anything else, thank you very much to everybody that supports our work, because when I started making these sprays, I used to make them myself. I now have a team that help me, headed by Tracy Eden in the southwest of the UK as well. But there's a team of people that now help with this and produce them. But I, created it a few years ago now, upstairs in my bedroom. And I never ever envisaged that I would be sitting here in front of you talking about what were the big sellers of a particular year. And I can say this because they are statistically valid. My background is actually market research. I used to be a qualitative market researcher before I got into this stuff, doing what I do now. And, over a certain number, then you start to get statistically valid information, and we send thousands of these sprays out every single month. So this is a really good barometer of what is going on colour-wise in terms of the energy. What have we needed support with? What have we welcomed in? What have we been dealing with, basically? So shall we get into it? So the first spray in our top 10 is one that is a new addition, and in fact was only really launched a few months ago. So the fact it's even made the top 10 sprays of 2019 shows that probably next year it's going to be towards the top. And it is the White Sage spray. Okay, White Sage. So what's interesting about this particular colour energy is that it really blends two different energies together, the angelic and the shamanic worlds. And I've been banging on about this for years now, which is that one of my pet hates was always the fact that never the twain shall meet, you know. It seemed to be, certainly years ago, that people were either into angelic energies or they were taking a shamanic path. And I looked at that and I thought, it doesn't make sense to me. Why do they have to be so not opposed to each other, but just separate from each other? And it was Archangel Metatron and actually Dr. Usui, Reiki, at the time, this was a few years ago, who said, bring the two energies together. And so within the Archangel Metatron array of energies that I work with and I help people to heal with, we have both the shamanic and the angelic blended. And really this bottle, as well as the elements, is the epitome of that. Because it has within it white sage, and many of you may very well have used sage to smudge. You've seen me, I'm sure, in other videos smudge with sage. I haven't got some to hand, but I've got bags of it over there, and I love to still burn it. But I think most people would probably agree that sage sometimes can, when you burn sage, it can take a little bit of time. To do it properly, it takes time, because you really need to fumigate basically a room or a space where toxic or negative energy has been built up, and you need to leave the smoke in the room as much as you can, and obviously then let it out via the window, via air, get it out. So there is a lot of ceremony around using natural sage. And so what we've got here in this bottle, white sage, which is the Archangel Metatron smudging spray, is a quicker, faster route to working with sage, basically. It has a piece of channeled artwork. A lot of the sprays that we sell have got channeled artwork on them. This was created by a young girl. I'm not quite sure what sort of age she is, but certainly in her 20s or younger. And I think it's got quite a youthful vibe to it. So I'm just going to spray this now, and those of you that are able to experience the sprays across the screen, you may very well get a hit of this. And it feels a very good spray to be using as we begin our work. Having had a lot of indulgence probably over Christmas, I certainly have. So this is a great one for helping just to clear your energy, clear your space, and clear your aura. And it has got a beautiful blend of oils within it, including, I believe, eucalyptus. I'm just wondering whether I've actually got the details of it in front of me. I probably haven't. I've got the details of lots of the others. I don't know whether I put this newest one in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can look up what's in all of the sprays online. Okay, all the information's there for you. But certainly sage, and it's got some eucalyptus. It's just a beautiful clearing energy. And I feel as we are in the last few days of a year, and we're about to welcome in a brand new decade. I mean, a decade. This is great because it helps to literally clear out the old and to welcome in the new. And if you think about welcoming in the new, what you do is, I'm being shown here, this is an analogy, but it's as though we're welcoming in a new baby in a way. It's the birth of something new when a new year comes in. And what you don't do when you have a new baby is put it into a dirty crib in a dirty home. Hopefully you don't anyway. Most parents who are loving and conscientious will have prepared the space for the new arrival and made sure everything is sort of tickety-boo. So this energy feels as though it's great for just clearing away the old to welcome in the new and really to ring in the new decade. So that's our first one. That's number 10 in our countdown. Okay, so that's white sage. Now, number 9 is this one, Mother Mary. Okay, Mother Mary. Mother Mary as an energy. I mean, for me, she's been around me my whole life because I've done plenty of videos where I've talked about the fact that I had a Christian upbringing. And every Christmas, of course, we would have been told the nativity story or played out the nativity story at church or in the school that I went to, which was also a church school. So I grew up knowing about Jesus, Joseph, Mary, that whole story. And really, over the last decade in particular, she started to come in a newer way for me in terms of helping me to learn to love myself a little bit better, nurture myself, because as a mother, you also have to learn to look after yourself as well. And that's true for every human being on the planet, whether you're a mother, a father, or anything else. So Mother Mary comes in and she helps us to feel safe. I'm going to spray the spray and then I'll talk a little bit about its creation and what is in it. So this is Mother Mary and the spray is called Harbour Light, and you'll see that the colour energies here are pink and we've chosen a pink and purple. I was going to say violet, but it doesn't really feel like a violet. It's like a pink and purple colour, so it's rather beautiful. It's also quite muted, so I'm very pleased with this colour energy. And of course, the pink is the colour of the heart and purple is the colour of higher connection. I mean, it's about many things. All colours have many different energies. And we'll just go back a step as well. And obviously the thing I didn't say about the white sage is, of course, it is colourless, okay? It's colourless. It's quite interesting. Today is a very still day here. It's quite noticeable. There's hardly any wind. And it's almost like eerily still. And of course, this clear energy is like that gentle breeze or the more raging strength gale, which will come in to clear what it needs to clear. So number 10 is a clear colour energy. Number 9, Mary, we have pink and we have purple. So let's just spray Mary. So beautiful. This has a combination. It's got many different oils in it, but it's got rose and it's got vanilla. And vanilla is one of those scents which to me feels very homely, okay? It's my own mother is actually trying to sell her home at the moment, and it's quite interesting because you get all this advice. And one of the pieces of advice is, you know, if you bake bread or you have the smell of baking bread in a home, when people come to view it, people automatically feel at home there. I think vanilla is a similar sort of energy. It just feels very homely. And yeah, it's called Harbour Light because it's as though Mary is saying, I am a safe harbour for you to come back to as well. You know, the mother who has to allow her children to go into the world and find their own feet and fly from the nest is also the mother who is always there with the nest when they need to come back and recuperate, recharge. And the Harbour Light is basically always on. So Mother Mary at number 9, and again, this was a newer spray. So towards, as we get into 2020, this energy and these colours may very well go further up towards the top of the top 10. But at the moment, she's there at number 9. But there's something about that number 9 energy that feels quite interesting to me because I was watching, I've watched a few different videos over the Christmas break. I've tried to catch up on a few of my favourites. And I watched Kepacha and he was talking about Pluto. And Pluto has been sort of taken down a notch in terms of it's now not regarded as one of the major planets. We used to have 10 planets in the solar system. They're now saying we just have 9. And Pluto has been sort of downgraded. Well, if we've now got 9 planets, Mary is coming in as the 9th energy. And you're going to be sick of me saying this if you watch me all the time, but I have kept channeling over and over in the last few videos this thing about women's rage is going to change the world. And when I say rage, it's not about anger and hatred or anything like that. It's the lioness type energy, okay? It's the energy of the person who is able to hold maternal energy, whether she is a mother or not, who is able to take care of the brood and will protect them as if her life depends on it, because her life does depend on it, because my life is your life. So there is this thing about Mother Mary, the way she's always been portrayed as being very meek and mild, you know, Mary, meek and mild. But yet Mary is wanting to, that is an aspect of her personality and of her energy. But there is this other energy with Mary, which is to be reckoned with. You know, she was a really strong archetype, and she is an energy that we can dip into when we need a little bit of that strength as well. So, and coming in with the colours, the pink and the purple, to me, I don't know about you, but that just, they feel like they're the colours of love. Okay, colours of love. So that's our number 9. Number 8 is a spray that was in the top 10 last year. I'm looking down at my notes. And in fact, this spray was number 3 last year. So it slipped down a little bit to number 8, but it's still doing pretty well. And I think this will always be in the top 10. I just have a feeling about it. Can you guess what it is? I often use this spray in my videos. It is good old emerald. Okay, look at that colour. I mean, to me, I just want to absorb that colour today, because with Christmas indulgence, the emerald green is a beautiful energy to help detoxify, okay, to detoxify the body. Now, I haven't got a spray in our collection that represents the element wood yet. And we may well do that in 2020. I'm not quite sure. We certainly need to do metal, because 2020 is the Chinese year of the metal rat. So metal needs to figure somehow, but wood. And the reason I haven't done a wood elemental is because I don't know if I can get it any better than this. Because this to me is such a complex energy, but it's so usable. This is the one I use the most, to be honest, probably of all my sprays. Let me spray it. It's called Emerald. It's called Renewal and Recovery. Okay, so there's an energy of renewal and recovery, but also there is this energy of sort of detoxifying as well. You know, the wood links into the liver, which is where we tend to store lots of toxins. So this has a scent of vetiver. So if you know the scent of vetiver essential oil, it's quite pungent. I love it, okay? You either love it or you don't like it. But I mean, to me, I love it, and it's always going to be in this spray, because take that out of it and it wouldn't be emerald anymore for me, okay? This to me is, you know, I'm being transported onto a forest floor. There is damp, soft moss underneath my feet. My feet are absorbing that sort of almost like juicy goodness of the forest floor, which is rich in nutrients and proteins and life-giving nectar that the bones of the body need. The feet are the absorbers. There's something about standing outside in nature, barefoot, on the grass, on moss, and feeling your, you know, it's like this, the wetness soak up in between the toes into the pads of the feet. It's very tactile. It's very succulent. It's I'm just being shown it like this amazing sponge at the moment, and it's probably because I need it as well, because I've overindulged this Christmas time, and it's just like, let me soak up all of that, all of those naughty things that you've been eating or drinking, and let me help your body just to clear them out. Okay, let me clear them out. So that's sort of like at a very physical level, but I mean, this emerald green is also terribly grounding. I mean, it's really grounding, which is probably why I was shown the forest floor, okay? It's a very grounding one. So it helps, Metatron's saying it helps to put you back in your body. And that can mean many different things. He's saying it can help put you back in your body when you tend towards fantasy or escapism or daydreaming. So there's a time for that, but there's also a time to sort of get back in our bodies and do whatever we're meant to be doing, whether it's pounding the streets, going through a pile of paperwork, I don't know, rolling up your sleeves and doing the washing up, chopping wood, whatever it is. So there's this thing about emerald is about it gets you back in your body. There's also a very strong link to the heart with this colour energy as well, because it's green. Colours of the heart to me are always linked into greens and pinks. And this is a deep, deep green. So it's like a nectar for the heart. And this is like the deepest hurts, those times where we've been, I'm hearing betrayed, okay, betrayal. Not been given that before so strongly, but he's saying that to me now. It's a good colour to help with betrayal, okay, if you've been betrayed. Because what betrayal does as an energy is it takes away feelings of self-worth. It makes you question who you are. It makes you question other people. It zaps you. So the green just feels as though it comes in and it helps to replenish. It's a really interesting colour energy, emerald, because it both absorbs and takes away, for example, toxins and tiredness. I often use it in the morning when I'm feeling a bit tired or I'm flagging, but then it also recharges at the same time, which is why we've called it renewal and recovery. So this is number 8. This is emerald. And I think you can probably tell I'm quite a fan of this spray. So much so, I'm actually going to spray a little bit more. Okay. I've got the channeled words that go with all of the sprays in front of me here. I'll just see if I can find emerald. And yeah, it's got frankincense, coriander, cedarwood atlas, bergamot, and vetiver in it as well. And for those of you that also work very strongly with the elementals, be that dragons, fairies, or any other of the elemental forms, I feel as though emerald it helps to create a portal through which you can experience those beings, okay? I'm being shown that quite clearly. I'm back to being shown the forest floor, and it's as though all these animals are just now coming out onto the forest floor. I'm seeing a badger, I'm seeing a mole, I'm seeing field mice. I'm also interestingly seeing birds that obviously fly in the sky but also come down and peck at the ground. So it's okay, and he's also saying it's one that helps with animal healing as well. I have got a new teacher in America who is I may be working with next year to create some sprays for animal healing. So she asked me to do that in November when I met her, and it stayed with me. But I think I'm right in saying that she was saying that she uses emerald a lot for the animal healing that she does at the moment anyway. Remember also you can use these at distance as well. It doesn't have to be hands-on healing. It can be sending colour energies at distance, okay? So that's number 8. I'm just going to have a quick glug of something. What am I drinking here? I'm drinking a pucker tea. Oops, missed my mouth. Number 7. Number 7, well, it's quite amazing actually. Number 7 is Christ. Number 7 is Christ, the energy of Christ. This is the bottle has changed colour a little bit over the year. We've had it in many different connotations, and the reason is that there was a huge fire at the factory where we used to buy our bottles from, and so we had to change supplier because they became unreliable, basically. So the old colour was this sort of corally, opaque colour, which I still really love. And you might have bought one of these bottles. And we used to also have the Vesica Pisces symbol on the Christ spray. But we changed it anyway. And we've now got a picture of Christ drawn by Kate Bedell, who actually also drew or painted the Mother Mary spray as well. Okay, so they sort of come as a set. But anyway, this is really about the colour of the bottle. So here we've got an orange gold colour. What we were trying to create with this new version, if I put it up to the light, is almost sort of like a sunrise. It's like a sunrise in the morning. You know, when you throw open the curtains and a new day is greeting you, and actually the day looks quite welcoming. The day looks new, it looks fresh. It makes you want to sort of get out of bed and get on with your day. And, you know, it has a sort of energy of sunrise to it. We've called the spray Jeshua the Christ, Master Teacher, because he is a Master Teacher. And I always say, if you're just stumbled on my video for the first time, my work is always non-denominational. I don't mind what belief you have. I'm open to all belief systems, basically. And so for me, this isn't a bottle which links necessarily into Christianity, although if you are a Christian and you want to use it for that purpose, great, please use it. To me, this is linked into the new Christ consciousness that is coming into our earth. And this is about Christ being the master teacher that he always was, and him here to basically help and support us. A lot of my work that I've done so far with Christ consciousness, and it goes back a couple of years, you'll have to look back on my channel. I did 3 or 4 videos in a row around Easter time, at least 2 or 3 years ago. And it was all to do with he's coming forward to help us to what I call drop our cross of suffering, okay? We all have a cross of suffering that we carry around with us, and some of us will go to our grave carrying it because we don't realise that actually we can let it go. And so I did a series of videos where I talked you through letting go of that cross of suffering. And you know, that's really, the Christ energy is about many, many things: unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, do as you would be done to. Beautiful, beautiful teachings that are timeless and that as a species and as a humanity, we still haven't really got. But, you know, it's also about letting go of our own personal suffering, letting go of our own patterns of self-abuse as well. So he's here as a teacher, a guide, and he always, always comes through via me and via my work as a very humble man who wants to sit with you, hold your hand, look into your eyes, and let you know that you are loved and that he is here. So let's just bring his energy through with this beautiful sunrise energy. So this is the number 7 energy, and it's Christ. Okay. What I want to say about this is, so I'm just looking for my notes. Don't think I haven't got notes for that spray. Okay, it doesn't matter. What I'm always struck by when I spray this, and I link into this colour energy, is how gentle it is. It's so gentle. It's so gentle, yet it packs a punch. It's love in a different form, basically. It's love, it's comfort, it's support. I feel as though, I'd said at the beginning of this video that I felt these top 10 colour energies, although they are about what people chose in 2019 to help them and to support them, I feel as though it was creating a foundation for the next year we're about to walk into, 2020, literally in 2 days' time as I make this video. And to me, this is almost like both Christ and Mary coming out of the shadows a little bit of the confines of the building and of the institution and of the structure of the church, if you wish them to, okay? If you still need or want or like or love the institution and the church, that's brilliant, you know, nothing wrong with that. But for many people, they are moving away from that into a more personal connection with the ascended masters, of which Christ is one. So it feels as though, this is about coming out and experiencing Christ's energy in a new way, in a personal way, in a way where he literally will sit down with you and walk with you also and help you through whatever you are facing as a trouble or a challenge in your life at this time, whatever travails you. Is travail such a word? That's what I'm hearing in my head, okay? He's also saying, as well as being the master teacher, he's the master traveller. And what he means by this is that he travels overseas. He says, of course, I did travel overseas. That's maybe for another video to talk about that. The fact that he went into other lands and took his ministry into other lands. Not everything that he did is recorded in the Gospels. We know this. So he travelled over lands. He's saying, my light is in every single country across the whole globe. And in fact, he's saying across the whole cosmos. So master teacher, master traveller. I'm sort of wanting to say time traveller as well, because it's this thing about he never basically left, is what I want to say. He never left as an energy. He's been here on this planet for 2,000 years, but it's almost as though most of us have been looking in the wrong place for him. He's actually right beside you, in your home, on your land, in your country. He's not just in the building that is locked 6 days a week and then opened on the Sabbath, okay? So, number 7, Christ, master teacher. Number 6 is actually what was number 1 last year. So what was the number 1 colour energy in 2018 is now the number 6 colour energy in 2019, and it is white. Okay, it's white. And it's interesting because within the top 10, we've obviously now got white and we've got white sage. Okay, I've got 2 whites. I quite like that though. And I'll tell you why I like it, which is that all of the white is basically the energy that refracts all of the rainbow, all of the colour spectrum. You see my lovely white flowers that are here. Just get those into shot a little bit. So you can never have too much white. The fact that we've got 2, I know it's clear, but clear light and white light. We're dealing with the same vibration here. We're dealing with the same energy. This is like, white is about amplification. It amplifies anything that it's beside. So 2019 was a year which amplified everything. It brought so much into the spotlight, including things that we didn't want to look at in our personal life and in the collective. And I tell you what, if 2019 was a precursor to 2020, the fact that we've got a couple of colour energies which are from the clear stroke white end of the spectrum, we're going to get more and more amplification, more and more that is coming up into the spotlight to be looked at. And this also is about ourselves being in the spotlight, okay? Our own flaws being highlighted, our own shadow being seen for what it is very clearly, as well as our own magnificence and brilliance and gifts. So it's as though there's no hiding place anymore. I've heard other teachers talk about 2020 as a year of clarity. And I think that's very true. I think many of us as spiritual teachers are sort of getting the same message. I haven't actually done my 2020 video yet, but I will be soon. But I sort of know what I'm going to be talking about in it. And I'm certainly going to be talking about 2020 vision, being able to see clearly. And it's like when you can really see clearly, that there is no hiding place. So there's no hiding place from ourselves. There's no hiding place from what's going on out there. And the other thing about white, I'm just going to come back to this spray now, is that it amplifies whatever it's beside. That's what I was always taught from a colour therapy perspective. So it's right beside the Christ energy, okay? So it's a huge amplification of the Christ energy. The other side of it, I'll have to tell you what the other one is now. The other side of it is spiritual protection. I'll talk about spiritual protection in a moment. But basically, the white light is amplifying the incoming Christ consciousness energy. And it's also amplifying the fact that we need to be protecting ourselves, okay? Not from a fear-based place in terms of, oh, everything's out to get me. Just from a place of, no, I know what my tools are now that I need to keep myself safe and my energy intact. I now need to remember to use them, okay? And I've talked about spiritual protection on many of my videos. And if you have not seen them, just go back and look at my Armour of God video as an example. You know, I've got my little thing here. We sell these in the shop as well. I'm not trying to sell things to you. It's just that I have this on my desk to remind me. You know, I said that to myself, put on my Armour of God before I came on and did this video. It's simple. You know, it's just there. It reminds me what I need to do. So anyway, let's just focus here on what is our sixth energy. Is that right? 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, sixth energy is white. What else can I say? Let's spray it. Explain the difference between the two, he's saying. Okay. So I've already explained what sage does, the white sage spray, which is to clear things away, clear our space. White light. White light is very potent. I'm being shown a white column of light. One of the things that I found most shocking, actually, looking at these top 10 sprays and colours, is there is not a single chakra spray that made the top 10. Not a single one. Hello, we're light workers. What does light, how does light circulate around our body? Through our chakras. Why have we got no chakras showing here? I mean, also hands up, maybe I haven't been talking about them enough. So I'm taking that on board, absolutely. And I will be talking about them more next year. But it's almost as though, oh yeah, you know, some of us that have been on our path for a while, it's like, oh yeah, we know about the chakras. I've done it myself. I have sat in workshops myself where they've been going through the 7 chakras, you know, because personally, I now work with more chakras than just 7. It's like, oh yeah, base chakra, yeah, sacral, yeah, solar plexus. And then, you know, whack over the head, Amanda. Hold on a minute, you've got big issues with regard to whether it's your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, whatever. Look at it, okay? And I'm just using myself as an example because it's like, where is the chakra maintenance, guys? I'm not saying that applies to everybody watching, but I'm also putting my hand up that I'm not always good at remembering to clear my chakras. White light is a wonderful way to be able to do it. So I do think there's a bit of a saving grace here that hopefully some of the people that have been using the sprays, they've been using the white light to bring down the white column into their body and to help illuminate, recharge, and get those chakras spinning. You know, however you imagine the chakras, whether it's the flower that's opening up, whether it's the wheel that's spinning, at the end of the day, the chakra moves, okay? The chakra isn't like a static thing that never moves and always stays the same size and shape. The chakras in the body are always like ebbing and flowing, and they're moving. So white light is a wonderful tonic, is what Metatron is saying. It's a tonic for all of the chakras in the body. And so what you can do is you can bring down a white column of light using the spray, for example, or not using the spray, just using visualization. But the sprays are a good tool. Spraying the white and then just imagining that white beam flowing down through you, through your body, through all of the chakras, through the stellar gateway, the soul star, the crown, the third eye, the altar major, the throat, the higher heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the base chakra, the Earth Star chakra, okay? I usually also add in ear chakras as well. I always ask my ears to be open as well. I will say at this point, I had a few comments towards the end of this year from a few worried people saying that they had heard things about white light being dangerous. Now, I'm not going to slam any other teacher out there, but all I am going to say to you is that if you work with the energy of the Ascended Masters and you work with Archangel Metatron and you ask him to bring white light into you, then there is no such thing as a false white light, okay? There is light. The white light is pure. The one thing about white light is it's about purity. It's about brilliance. It's about clarity, but purity is very, very, it's one of the key qualities that white light has, which is why it's safe to bring it all the way through the body. So it's like anything, isn't it? As long as you ask, okay, Metatron's giving me this analogy. Say you go into a restaurant, he's saying, say you go into a restaurant and you ask for, I don't know, let's just say something like, I don't know, spaghetti bolognese, okay? And you go to a very fine restaurant and it's created, of course, very lovingly, and it's prepared well, and the kitchen is hygienic, and the chef has washed his hands, and the waiting staff, haven't got, bugs and vomiting sickness, germs on their hands that they serve your dinner with. You're going to be fine with what you eat. If you go into some sort of little back street divey cafe, with a chef that is sort of dirty and germ-ridden, and he sort of makes your spaghetti bolognese, but actually, the mince or the corn, that's the vegetarian variety as well, is like 3 weeks out of date, but he bungs it in the pan anyway, puts a load of spices, hopes it's going to be okay, and serves it up to you. Well, it's going to make yourself ill, isn't it? So it's exactly the same thing with energies. Make sure that when you ask for an energy to run through your body, it's being served to you from the highest source available. And that's why it's so important that when you bring anything into your body, be it an affirmation, be it a colour, we're talking colours here, a download basically, you ask that it comes from the highest being available to you at that time. Now, Metatron is pretty blinking high vibration, okay? If you don't know who Archangel Metatron is, that's for another video, another time. But he's my main guide. He's called the Lesser Yahweh. He's the one who sits beside the Godhead. He's the bridge between God and man. He's not going to serve you up some sort of dodgy blend of colour, okay? I think that's really important to remember. And in fact, it's very good practice for anything that you do, be it channeling, be it doing oracle cards, cleansing your crystals. Make sure that you always, always, always invite in the highest power, God, Christ, Metatron, whoever your guide is. So I think that's a great analogy that he's just given us, about the restaurant. Anyway, white light, brilliant. I think white light's always going to be in the top 10. Let me just give myself another squirt of it. Anything else to say about white light? Oh, okay, yeah, he's also saying white light is similar to sage. It's great for when you just need a fresh start, You just need a fresh start, which is what a new year is as well. It's like a fresh start, but indeed we can have fresh starts all through the year. You could do it, you could create, if you look at 2020 coming in, I've just bought myself a new diary. Last night I ordered one and I'm quite looking forward to getting it, and I'm going to sit down, I'm actually going to plan my year, and I'm going to do it better than I did this year, which is what you should always do. You should always do better the next year, and sort of try and carve in certainly some more holidays, some more space, some more time for exercise, some more time for play, and working in different ways. But to be able to do that, you have to clear everything, okay? You have to clear everything, and white is a very good energy for helping you do that. White light as well, I will just say, white as a colour energy is one of those colours which is completely and utterly safe as long as you're bringing it in from the highest power, okay? You can't do any damage with white. Whatever illness is going on around you, whatever mental condition you may have going on, whatever challenge you have in your light, if you bring white light into it, it can only do good, okay? So we're into our top 5. Let me just have another quick swig of tea. Top 5, halfway through, guys. I've already basically told you what number 5 is, because number 5 is the Spiritual Protection Spray. Now, this was number 4 last year, so it hasn't moved much, basically. It was in the top 5 last year, and it's still in the top 5 this year. It's only in a bigger bottle here, because it's the only version of it I have in my home, okay? But this is the Spiritual Protection Spray. Those of you that have ordered the Archangel Metatron cards will notice that this image here is one of the cards in the deck, and it's the card that links into silver, and it shows a hand rising up from the water, the moon in the background, and it's about bringing clarity, okay, bringing clarity, cutting through. It is an Archangel Metatron spray, but of course Archangel Michael also is very linked into the sword, so cutting through what needs to be cut through. This is another tool basically to help you with protecting yourself, okay? It's called spiritual protection. But in terms of colour energies, it is silver. Silver's a very interesting colour energy because silver is about, it always reminds me a little bit of the mirror, okay? It's the mirror. It reflects back to you. Now, remember also that other people are reflections of you as well. So I'm a firm believer that if you go out looking for trouble, trouble will find you. And the same thing with regard to, nastiness, negativity, toxicity, entities to a degree as well. If you go out looking for them, it's almost like you're putting your hand up and saying, here I am, over here, here, come and get me. So remember the mirror with silver. What you really want to be doing with the silver energy is the flip side, which is silver is also very antibacterial. Okay, it has an antibacterial energy to it. So it helps to sort of keep the bugs away in many respects. So it has an antibacterial energy, silver. It has a reflective energy. It brings up mirroring, so it will also help you to start to look within yourself. If you're attracting a lot of stuff, it's about looking within you in terms of, well, is there a program there that needs tweaking? Is there something within my mindset where I'm attracting something into me? But the thing about the mirror, Metatron's he's showing me a mirror, and it's as though he's polishing the mirror. So it's as though a mirror, I'm looking over at a mirror there and it's all dirty, it needs a wipe. A mirror can constantly be cleaned. So if you don't like the reflection of something in the mirror, whether it's yourself or you're being shown something about yourself via somebody else, well, it's about cleaning that up, okay? Cleaning that up, whether that's internal or external. I am going to tell you what is in the spray with this one, because I hope I've got it here. Let me just have a look. Yes. I'll spray it and then I'll tell you what's in it. She says. Let's give it a spray first. I've got this. Oh, it does, yeah. To me, this has got a very unique spray that's quite different from the others. And I think why it smells quite different is because it has juniper in it. And I'm just reading my own notes here. It says juniper was used in the 1950s in France, where juniper twigs were burnt in hospitals to cleanse the atmosphere. So juniper has a certain smell to it, which I quite like. It's also got pine, bay leaf and cedarwood in it. And it also has angelica. And again, I'm just reading my own notes here. This is all probably, in the channeled things. There are channeled messages for all my sprays if you just look on my website. But it says here, according to legend, the plant Angelica was revealed to a monk by an angel as an antidote to the bubonic plague. It is said to help protect from poisons, epidemics, and infections. It's also said to bloom on the day of St. Michael, and as such, it protects against witchcraft and evil spirits. So to me, certainly, if I was worried about people, I don't know, sending negativity to me, psychic attack, that type of thing, which, is out there, it's just that I don't dwell on it, because if you dwell on it, you bring it into you. I would be using this as a first defense, okay? And indeed, this one sits on my desk all the time, okay, which is why I've got such a bumper bottle of it. So it also helps to protect, I believe, my electronic equipment as well, because spiritual protection is also about being protected from what is out there, whether that is online. You can surround your work and your business with this sort of energy as well as yourself. So spiritual protection. That one to me feels very linked into the armour of God as well, because armour is sort of has a metallic energy to it. And it's quite, no, I can't say that yet. I was going to say something about metals. I'll save that for later. Number 4. Are you still with me? Number 4. Okay, let's go for number 4. And what is so incredible about the top 10 is that 3 of the top 10 energies for 2019 were linked into Mother Mary, Christ, and number 4 is Mary Magdalene. And I sort of love the fact, and I know Christ and Mary, Mother Mary, don't mind me saying this, that Mary Magdalene has piqued both of them. Because it's like she deserves her place. She deserves to be that high up. Because for centuries, for thousands of years, Mary Magdalene as an energy has been downtrodden. I can't remember what century it was, but one of the popes branded her, sort of a prostitute, which was then revoked. But mud sticks, basically. And there is so much about Mary Magdalene that has been distorted through the years. She was a master teacher in her own right. And don't you love her colours? I mean, look at that. The pink and yellow together. Again, this bottle has had a number of different variations through the year because of the bottle manufacturer change that we've had. But this is where we're at now. This is the new vibration of it. And if you look at them together, we've got the Christ energy was sort of like that orange and yellow, remember? And Mary is sort of this pinky, it's like a dusty pink and a vibrant yellow is her energy. What do those colours say to you? What do they do to you? To me, they actually, as I'm looking at them here with you afresh, they feel quite childlike, actually. They feel quite innocent. They feel quite childlike. They feel as though they speak to my inner child today. And, Mary Magdalene was a mother as well. I believe she was a mother. I believe that her and Christ were divine counterparts and partners. And I believe that they had children together. And I will be releasing some work early in 2020, which is a Mary Magdalene distance course. It's not, it hasn't got loads and loads of stuff in it, but it's quite powerful, the information that's in there. And I will be talking about what I believe happened with Christ and her, because I believe they travelled. And I believe Mary was one of the master healers, basically, that helped Christ to be revived after he came down from the cross. So he was, I'm going to say more about that another time. Let's just stick to what the colour energies are with here. So this is number 4. This is Mary Magdalene. Now, the purpose of the colour energy and why it's made the top 4 is really that she represents the divine feminine. Okay, she represents, that's what the bottle's called. Okay, if you look at the bottle, Mary Magdalene, Divine Feminine. Again, this is artwork by Kate Bedell. I'll put the link to Kate's website below So she did all three images for the Christ, Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene sprays. Divine Feminine in at number 4. Okay, you know, we're the old patriarchal energies are being nudged. They're being nudged. They're being cracked open, and they've been and are still a very hard nut to crack. Okay, but make no mistake about it. The if we use the analogy of the nut and cracking open the nut so that the world can let go of the patriarchal male energy that has ruled this planet for eons, each knock on that nut is making the shell weaker and weaker, and inside the shell is the beautiful divine feminine energy, which is already eking out. I mean, the fact it's already number 4 in our top 10 sprays says everything to me. And this is one to watch for next year, the Mary Magdalene energy, make no mistake about that. And indeed Mother Mary, you know, but really, you know, the fact we've got 3 in the top 10 and I've got 40 different sprays, they are, I was going to say they're back, but they never went away. It's just that we're rediscovering them in a new light. So let me spray Mary Magdalene. Very different scent to Mother Mary. Just let you get a hit of that. Okay. What do I want to say about it? It has a more exotic scent. There's a sensuality to it. I'm just looking for my notes. Can't find them. Doesn't matter. As I say, it's all online. What do I want to say? Mary Magdalene. Let's look at the energy of that. I'm hearing the big surprise, the big reveal. Okay, I feel as though there's something coming around Easter time next year, 2020. There's a big reveal, there's a big surprise. I'm wondering whether it's actually the release of documents, old documents, you know, going back thousands of years, that actually put her back in her rightful place. But you know, the divine feminine energy in at number 4. Let's just leave it there for now. Okay, let's go to our top 3, guys. Top 3 sprays of 2019. What were they? I'm going to first tell you what the top 3 sprays of last year were. The top 3 sprays of last year were, number 3 was Emerald, or we've already had Emerald. Number 2 was Flame, and number 1 was White. So at number 3 this year, 2019, we have one of the top 3 sprays from last year, but only one of them made it back into the top 3. And of course, it's this. Those of you that work with me, it's just like, oh yeah, of course it was always going to be here. This will always be in the top 10. This was the first spray I ever made. When I was up in my bedroom trying to think, what the hell am I doing? How am I going to do this? You know, help. The one thing Metatron said to me was, well, orange is the first colour. Orange is the first colour that you do. Orange is the most important colour to him at that time, but it still is important. Orange is the colour of connection and attunement to Archangel Metatron. I have said that for years, okay? And I mean, look at that colour. That is so beautifully vibrant, isn't it? So this is Archangel Metatron Flame, attunement and connection spray. This is the one that we use to help people to be attuned to his energy. When we talk about being attuned to his energy, it means to be aligned to his energy. Okay, when you are aligned to something, it is easier for you to hear or feel their presence, but you still have to do the work, okay? But it's about being aligned, being attuned to Metatron. You have seen me, if you follow my videos, 9 times out of 10, when I sort of get a little bit stuck on a video or I'm sort of needing a bit of inspiration, I tend to reach for this spray because it's always my go-to. This and the emerald are always my go-tos. This is my go-to for spiritual connection, okay? It helps to fine-tune my own connection to Metatron. Let's just bring it in for you. Going to make me sneeze. No, he's not. Right. This has got cinnamon and clove in it. And in particular, it's the clove that is really, really important. There have been a few variations of the spray over the years. As I say, Tracy makes them now for me, but clove has always been, sorry, it doesn't have cinnamon, it has clove and orange. Clove and orange. Clove and orange have always been the two main ingredients of this spray. And it has a very distinct smell. Again, you either love it or you hate it, but I mean, most people love it because obviously it's in the top 3. It's our 3rd best-selling spray and it's the 3rd Colour Energy of 2019. But it's about the flame. It's about the flame, that you have the flame within you. You have that light within you. You are the light. That's what Metatron does. He reminds you that you are the light. And I tell you what, just look, I've got all the 10 sprays you see in front of me here. What strikes me is actually, I've done this sort of subconsciously without realising, is the new colour for Christ. Okay, it's got yellow in it. It's actually quite similar to the colour that I've got for Metatron Connection. I hadn't even appreciated until now, seeing them so close together. That's what's happened. And it's almost like, okay, I'm realising now this is also a connection bottle to Christ. It's about helping to attune to his teachings and his presence. So I love that. I love that. I love the way that that's flowed. But anyway, number 3 is the flame. It's everything that I've always talked about with Metatron summed up in a colour bottle is this. It's about him being your guiding light. It's about him helping you to step out of your own comfort zones and to become the version of yourself that you are truly meant to be. It's about illumination. I've written here in the channeled words, its orange light reminds you of your lion's heart, the part of you that is brave, fearless, and will step where you need to step, transform what you are asked to transform, and be who you are meant to be. Orange is the colour for the future. It is about enlightenment and joy. Its complementary colour turquoise asks you to trust and go with the flow, not to direct or control. You see, it's interesting with colour energies because all colours have a complementary colour to them. So yeah, the complementary colour to orange is turquoise. And of course, we're going into the Aquarian age. The Aquarian age is all linked into the turquoise energy. You might say, well, Amanda, if that's the case, where the hell is turquoise within your top 10 sprays? It's actually number 11. I will just say at this point, it's sort of number 11. It's on the spectrum because number 11, I will just bring them in, was actually this one. It didn't quite make the top 10. This is Jade. Again, a new colour for Jade. It used to be in a slightly different bottle. Jade looks pretty damn, it's not, I mean, turquoise jade, it's that part of the colour spectrum. It's the blues, okay? Number 11 was Jade. Do you want to know what 12 and 13 were? Yeah, of course you do. I will just say what 12 and 13 are before I do the top 2. So 11 was Jade, 12 was Rose Gold. We did get a chakra in the top 12 anyway. Rose Gold is the Stellar Gateway. And coming in at number 13 was the Rose Inner Child Spray. Anyway, shall we do our top 2 sprays? So the number 2 spray, I'm really pleased to see this. And this almost sort of, this makes me feel a bit better about the fact that we've got no chakra sprays in the top 10. Although we have got the white spray. We've got this one. Number 2 is the Archangel Metatron Rainbow Ray Upgrade and Expansion Spray. This is not the same spray as the Rainbow Bridge, which is the spray I use to help me with my mediumship work. This spray, number 2, is the Rainbow Ray, and you'll see it's got this beautiful picture on it of multicoloured angel wings drawn by another one of my friends, Angie Ricketts. I'll put Angie's website on the details below as well, because I think you can buy prints of that. But yeah, what this is the rainbow, basically. So we have, and I have said in the channeled words for this, that because it represents the rainbow, what was I saying? Because it represents the rainbow. Oh God, sorry, I'm having a senior moment. Let me come back to that in a moment. Upgrade and expansions happens as you get older, especially happens when you've been indulging too much over Christmas. Let's go back a try. Let's just take it back. Archangel Metatron, Rainbow Ray. What? Just spray it, he's saying, Amanda. Just spray it. He's laughing at me. Metatron's laughing at me. That's fair enough. Okay. It's subtle. But this is about representing all of the colours of the rainbow, obviously, and it's to help with upgrade and expansion. So as we go through all of the portals, all of the special times, equinoxes, whatever, New Year, we've got the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, haven't we, coming up on the 12th or 13th of January, all of these big things. We've got a lot of eclipses next year as well. What this spray helps to do is to integrate whatever is coming down or coming up. Because remember also, you can get upgrades coming up from the earth. It's both ways. So when the physical body is starting to feel like, oh, I don't like this very much, I'm feeling, achy, painy, whatever, the rainbow upgrade and expansion energy can help your body to assimilate and integrate what is coming in. But it doesn't just have to be about portals and equinoxes. It can also be when you are transitioning through different stages of life. So say, for example, I don't know, maybe something very sad has happened and you've lost a partner and you're having to actually try and integrate those changes into the body. It's like my old life and my new life, and somehow I've got to try and make sense of this. The rainbow helps you to integrate. If you think about the rainbow, we say the rainbow as though it's just one thing. The rainbow is made up of 7 colours. So it's as though it helps to integrate all of the different aspects of ourself. Metatron is saying it also helps to integrate our multi-dimensionality. And he's saying that's something he'd like to be talking about more next year. Integrating our different multi-dimensionality. The fact that we have multi-dimensional selves. We also, of course, have multiple timelines going on at the same time, which is definitely something for another day to talk about. So the Rainbow Ray is poised at the number 2 position to help us assimilate and integrate all of the upgrades that have already been going on through 2019, but are going to be powering up even more through 2020. So it's like a tool to help our physical body to cope and to transition through. Now, my battery is about to die, so I'm actually going to just pause the camera, change the battery, and come back and do the number 1 spray of 2019. Hold on 1 minute, guys. I'm back. Okay. Right, I'm looking at the number 1 colour energy of 2019, and I'm thinking, whoops, there is a chakra in the top 10, and whoops, it's actually number 1. And it's quite funny that I've made that mistake, but I'll tell you why I've made it. It's because the number 1 spray is an Archangel spray. It's not Metatron. And I was so fixated on the fact it's not Metatron, it's one of the other archangels that's made the number 1 spot, that I forgot that this particular archangel actually rules one of the chakras. So it's not one of the chakras in the body. So that's my excuse. Have you guessed what it is? What's number 1? I'm so glad to see this at number 1, because God, do we need this energy this year and going into next year? I think a lot of you are thinking it's Archangel Michael. It's not Archangel Michael. He might have been top 15. It's Archangel Sandalphon. Archangel Sandalphon, bronze, is the number one colour energy of 2019. And it's definitely going to be going into 2020. I said to you before that 2020 is the year of the metal rat. So we're going to have a very metallic feel to next year. And actually, as I look at our top 10 sprays, we've actually got two metal energies. We have silver, which was number 5, and number 1 is bronze. Now, bronze is a colour that I stuck my neck out with, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, however many years these sprays have been out. Because this Archangel Sandalphon energy represents the Earth Star Chakra. And other teachers out there were talking about the fact that the Earth Star Chakra is black and white. Now, I'm not saying it can't be black and white, because I would never diss anybody else's work. Because everybody has a different interpretation of anything in the world, okay? And it's very much what you resonate with or what you don't resonate with. But I didn't resonate with those colours, because to me, the Earth Star, which represents the chakra that is about a foot or 2 foot, depends really on the person, but usually about a foot or so underneath the physical body. It's like the foundation. Now remember, Earth Star chakras aren't just linked into people. Other things can have an Earth Star chakra. For example, a tree, okay, a living thing has an Earth Star chakra, but it's underneath, it's the foundation. So in 2019, whether we knew it or not, we were building foundations. Now that might have, Metatron's also saying the word excavation, because it's like some of them went really, really deep. But in all seriousness, for a foundation to be built, again, you have to clear it properly. So there was a lot of clearance energy that went on through 2019. We know that, whether that be relationships that were let go of, jobs that were let go of, people that left your life. I don't know, it kind of manifested itself in many different ways. But really what it was trying to do was clear the deck so you could build the foundations of the new on cleared and solid ground. Now, what I'm actually being shown is quite interesting, is I'm being shown that some of the foundations that we've been building up, they're there, but what's interesting is they're not actually that high yet, okay? I'm being shown they're still quite shallow, and that's because none of us truly know what 2020 is going to bring. It's a year of the unexpected. I'm hearing of the surprise, and that can be good, guys, as well, okay? It's nothing, it doesn't have to be negative, don't think that. But it's the year of the surprise, it's the year of the reveal, it's the year of, we don't quite know what we're entering, not just a year, we're entering into a new decade. And so therefore it makes sense that in 2019, we were literally putting some of the first bricks down. Some of us have put the first bricks down for the next decade. Some of us are still clearing away to make room for the bricks. Earth Star Chakra, okay? The Earth Star Chakra is what it's all about. And it's also about as above, so below. For any new growth that is going to be happening, sorry, Rose, any new growth that is going to happen, you have to put your roots down very, very deep. There's also this thing about, I quite like the fact that I'm almost feeling as though for bronze and for the Earth Star and Sandalphon to be number 1, it's like the year where we came down to Earth with a bit of a bump, I'm hearing, okay? Some people came down to Earth with a bit of a bump. So some people fell off some pretty high pedestals that they had placed themselves on, or other people had placed themselves on. Structures that were not built on solid ground or that had overgrown their use or their time were being shaken. I'm being shown a structure which is being shaken from the bottom, and it's like, it needs to fall away. It's like the tower that needs to fall away. I'm also now being shown a picture of debris, and this is all symptomatic of the clearing that needs to take place for the new foundation that has to be built. Sandalphon has been working tirelessly and very hard behind the scenes to set the scene for this coming year, 2020. And he has been doing it quite unassumedly, quietly, softly, and gently. The thing about Sandalphon is such a beautiful energy. He's such a beautiful energy. He is so soft. I mean, Metatron and Sandalphon together are sort of like the twin energies, and they complement each other very well because they are both very, very different. And Metatron's now like he's just bowing like that. He's like bowing to his brother energy. It's like he's saying well done. It's just like he's saying well done, because Metatron is the orchestrator. He's the one that brings in the ideas, the inspiration, the flashes, all of this, change. But Sandalphon's the one who then says, okay, let's get on with it and build. Let's get on with it and build. Let's do this. And I will walk beside you. To me, Sandalphon has an energy very similar to Christ as well. Very gentle. It's like a humbleness. Let me spray the spray and then you can feel it for yourself. Bronze, Earth Star, and then we're going to do the least popular spray, so hang on for that. Very gentle scent. It has peppermint, marjoram, petitgrain, and sandalphon in it, and it's all of our colour sprays have got crystal energies within them. I have a lady that makes crystal essences that we put into the bottles, and in the Earth Star bronze spray we've got beautiful combination of crystals, which I must admit I've bought them over a number of years, so they're sort of my crystals, they're my collection, but she creates the essences now. We've got things such as petrified wood, Petrovsky stone, Himalaya red azulite, Kambaba jasper, Eye of the Storm, Merkaba. So, yeah, why would you use Sandalphon? Why would you not use Sandalphon is what I want to say, okay? When you need grounding, when you're going through big changes, when you need support for new initiatives, new projects, great space, great colour energy as well for helping when you're travelling. I did some long distance travel this year, and you sort of arrive on the other side of the world and you feel very discombobulated, my favourite word, and it's like, oh yeah, put me back together again, please. So yeah, number one, good old Sandalphon. Lovely, love it. So within our top 10 then, we have, I'm just going to give you a little rundown of what they all were again, and then I'm going to say what the least understood, it's not least favourite, it's a least understood colour energy is. And it's one that we need to work on for next year. So anyway, top 10 sprays. Number 10, White Sage, Archangel Metatron, the combination of shamanic and angelic together. Number 9, Mother Mary, pink and purple, love, support, come to me, I am a harbour for you. Number 8, Emerald, detoxification, grounding, renewal, recovery. Betrayal, healing that. Number 7, Christ, master teacher, sunrise, orange, yellow, new beginnings, hope, ending suffering. Come to me, the little children I'm hearing. Number 6, white, column of white light, bring it down from the highest source available. Call in Archangel Metatron, asking him to pour down white light through all of your chakras. Number 5, silver, spiritual protection. That's what it says it is on the bottle. And the mirror as well, remember, reflection. Number 4, Mary Magdalene. Surprise, secrets to be revealed come Easter time. Beautiful muted pink and yellow. I mean, they look like the colours of Easter, don't they, if you look at that? But this is also the divine feminine. It's the divine feminine energy in at number 4 with yellow and pink colours to crown her and clothe her. Number 3, Archangel Metatron, orange, flame, attunement and connection spray, alignment to Metatron, stepping out of comfort zone. Number 2, the rainbow ray, the rainbow. It's impossible to get a rainbow in all of the colours of the bottle, but it is the rainbow, okay? It is upgrade and it is expansion. And it's helping you through all of the different portals, all of the different adjustments that your body has to go through. Number 1, Archangel Sandalphon, bronze. Grounding, support, building those firm foundations for the new that is to come. That was our top 10. We will just have a look at what was the least understood colour energy of 2019. And it's quite sad that this is the least understood because it just shows everything, to be perfectly honest. Last year it was air elemental. The air elemental wasn't in the bottom this year. I can't remember where it came, but it did okay. It still wasn't flying high, but it was better than it was. The least understood colour energy and the least popular, and I hate to say this, it's like saying it's like one of my babies I'm saying this to, but it's like, come on, we need to bring this right up into the top 20 at least. It's one of the children's sprays, and it's red, and it's my superpower. And it makes me sad that this was the least popular or understood, because this is the one that's trying to help our children to step into their own power, and to be able to cope with the world that is out there. And as I put it up to the camera, it's obviously red and it's linked into the base chakra. But a lot of these children that are struggling at the moment, they're the crystal kids, they're the crystal kids who've landed on planet Earth, who are having to cope with what is still fundamentally a 3D world around them, even though they're holding a 5th dimensional consciousness or higher, and even though they're seeing glimmers of that 5th dimensional world coming in, all around them they can see 3D. They can see and they can see the hardships of this world. I'm hearing the word poverty as well. Poverty, injustice, inequality. I'm also being drawn here to the fires that are burning in parts of the world. The natural kingdom that is also suffering. And it's as though this colour is the one that can help them to gain some strength to be able to take on the old paradigm to bring in the new. They have to be able to bridge both, basically, because they have to be able to operate in both worlds, because they've landed here in this time to bring about the change, but they have a foot in both camps. So this is the spray that gives them the power to be able to stand up for who they are and what they are. This one also, I seem to remember, I'm just going to bring the words up if I've got them here, was a spray that I felt would be very helpful for children that maybe were being bullied, for example. I've got some of the words here. I'm just going to read some of the words out to you, and I'm going to spray it as well around me. And remember as well that these children's sprays, many grown-ups need them as well, because it's linking into your inner child. And or it might be that you're working with children, or you can help support the children of this world. So there's actually quite a long channeled message which you can read on my website, but this is just a little bit of what this spray is all about. It says, do you know how absolutely amazing you really are? Forget what you think you are and step into who you really are. You are an amazing child of God with talents, abilities and strengths that match any comic strip superhero out there. You may not feel it or know it, but you are deeply loved and appreciated for what you bring to this world. Maybe you haven't found what makes you special yet. Maybe you doubt your own abilities. Maybe you lack confidence or have been bullied, shamed or made to feel small. But these problems can be overcome. I, Archangel Metatron, am here to tell you that you were born with something that no one can ever take away from you, your own power, which is still there and which I can help you find and light again within you. A power that can make the impossible possible, a power that can help you conquer anything, a power that is not vengeful or that hurts others, but one that inspires those around you by just being you. This force within you is strong, stable and secure. It is always there to help, encourage and support you through the tough times, the challenging times, and the times you just need some extra help. It is your own essence, the unique, beautiful thing that makes you you and sets you apart from anyone else on this planet. You may never have found or experienced your own strength yet, but I will help you harness it and unleash it into the world. It was there when you were born, imprinted into you, for you are a child of God and have his essence within you. Anything is possible. Open up your arms to receive my support and I will help you remember who you really are, to play, to learn, to love, to have fun, to work. Not everyone will like you and that is okay. Not everyone can be number one or top of the class and that is okay. Not everyone will understand you and that is okay. But many will love you through a multitude of phases as your life moves on to different chapters each day. This superpower energy helps you find your tribe, your place in the world, and to feel happy and secure in that space also. You will see that you are bigger than you ever imagined, that your dreams and ambitions can be as well. And those that seek to put you down are simply not important, that their influence and power over you fades away as you find your courage, your power and your strength. We in the angelic realms salute you, as we already know who you are. Let us help you remember that today. Transform, let go of that part of you that feels thwarted and step into your superpower, for you are amazing, and never forget that fact. How the hell was that the least popular spray and colour energy of 2019? We have got work to do, guys. Those of you that follow my Facebook page, Angelic Celestial Colours, you know that I said a few weeks ago, probably into November, that I felt one of the major bits of work that I need to do next year is to do some work to help the crystal kids that are out there, but not just the children, to help the parents, to help the teachers, to help the carers, to help society basically better understand these children that are here and are misunderstood and are finding it so difficult as the world evolves. And those words are coming back to me now, that this is such an important job. And we're literally starting from the ground up, you know. The foundations are they even there, Metatron, for this work yet? He's saying yes. He's saying Sandalphon has created some foundations for the work that is to come. He's saying, but there is much to do. And he's saying, I will help you, and I will help anybody also who is linked into this particular energy of helping the children of our world to find their own power. Because within them, within that superpower that they hold, is the power that is here to help change the world. And they have a fear of ridicule and standing out. And as grown-ups, we need to help them to and support them to feel safe to bring through their special gifts and their talents. So what a way to end the video, guys. But you know, that was the one that came bottom of the pile. So I hope you found that interesting. I found it very interesting. And you know, looking now at the lineup, as it were, of sprays that I've got sitting here of the top 10, I'm just looking to see what colours are not represented. And I tell you what's not represented. Where's the blue? Where is the blue? There is no blue. The Pantone colour for 2020 is blue. I have to say it's quite a dull colour blue. I'm not very happy with the colour choice. I don't know who makes these colour choices, but maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But it is blue. So at the moment it's like there's no blues. What else is not there? Red. Well, no, red's not there. Red is not in the top 10. Orange is there, yellow is there, green is there. No blue, no indigo. There is violet. Okay, there is white. Okay, well, so yeah, no blue. Blue is the colour of peace. Hey, you know, maybe there wasn't a lot of peace in 2019. There probably wasn't. You know, so many people were fighting each other, and we've got to just try and stop that, haven't we? So there's plenty of work to do. Plenty of work to do. Anyway, what time is it? It's gearing up towards lunchtime here in the UK on the 30th. I'm actually going to go in and spend some time at my mother-in-law's grave this afternoon. We're going to go and visit her and take some flowers. We haven't done that this Christmas. So we're going to do that today, and then tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I have got a couple of very urgent videos that I need to make. I will try and find some time to do one of them tomorrow. I want and I need to make a video on the fires in Australia. There's quite a lot of information that I'm getting about that coming through. It's sad to say, but it's like, if I don't do it tomorrow, the problem's still going to be here in a few days. So it sort of can wait. I am sending strength to anybody that's affected by those awful fires out there, though. Please heed the warnings. If you are being told to move, please heed the warnings and do that. If you are in a place where you literally cannot flee and you cannot move, maybe you've got a lot of animals that you're taking care of. Metatron was giving me the analogy last night of building an energetic moat around your residence, around your place, and it is an energetic moat of water. Okay, so that's just one thing I'll give you as a need to know. There's also going to be some work we're going to be doing together in the UK and in Australia to try and clear the lines linked into the number of people that were sent to Australia from the UK, landed in Botany Bay. I'm being shown there's two ends of a snake, and there is a lot of ancestral pain and damage and colonial injury that needs to be cleansed, and this is partly what's going on with the fire. And the reason one head of the snake is in Dorchester, or the Dorchester area, is that is where a lot of people were sentenced, and they then had to walk to, I think it was Weymouth, and it's quite near to where I live basically, and there were these red markers, and the red markers pointed people in the direction of the way to go to get on the boats basically. So I need to do some work at those red posts, but I also need people in Australia to be on hand to be putting some crystals down the other side. So that's quite an important piece of work that needs to be done. I also want to do the 2020 January video, of course I do. I'm going to be doing that. And I want to bring through David Bowie and Elvis Presley on the 8th of January because it's their birthday. And I also want to say something about George Michael's sister who died, Melanie. Rest in peace to her. There's a few things to say on that as well. But anyway, let's stick to the colour for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Keep building those foundations, guys. And if we look at the top 10, they are topped and tailed by clearing the way and building the foundations for the new, with an awful lot of love and Christ energy and Mary energy and divine feminine energy thrown in as well. So it's a very interesting mix. But make sure you look out for these kids, okay? It's all of our duties to do that. Much love. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye for now.